The AC is blasting. I had 2 gorgeous BMs today. I can feel my period coming around the corner, so I know I'm not pregnant. God is good. God is good today, let me tell you. It's so crazy to think that I used to be really into God back in the day, like of the Jesus variety. Like really into it. And not like in a, evangelical speaking in tongues way, but I mean, damn. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, yes, Lord. Amen. Oh, I used to eat that shit up. What better way to start this podcast than to talk about religious trauma? So, when I was a kid, I think it was more my dad's doing to make religion a part of the family. My poor mother was just kind of like tits out, picking her battles. And so we would go to church as a kid, and I remember being very young, like coloring Jesus's face, or, playing games where however many commandments you can recite, you get a Snickers bar. Just some like gorgeous propaganda. And let me just preface by saying, if you are religious, amazing. Literally pop the fuck off. I think religion can be a beautiful thing. It can get you out of your own head, out of your own ego. There are many beautiful, wonderful parts of religion. There are also not some cute parts of religion. And I think it is a very personal experience. If it works for you, literally, you have my blessing. And then I remember going to Jesus camp, and I think that's where things really kind of took a turn. For some context, I remember getting pushed up an age group because, quote, my connection to God was stronger than the other kids. I mean, they really knew how to gas me up. They also would give us like donuts at the end. Why did I say like donuts at the end? I mean, they really knew how to keep you coming back. Why was there always a really weird kid in your church group, though? Like, I remember this girl who also went to Jesus camp with me. Oh my God, she was so bizarre. When we went to Jesus camp, we did like a little overnight camping trip. And I remember she would make me shovel the holes so she could shit in them. Now, I definitely was playing into the game as well. I'm not necessarily free from that. I'm not a victim per se, but God, she was weird and she smelled weird. Okay, I'm being mean. Anyway, Jesus camp was in Yosemite. And I went, I think it was 3 years. And this shit was so fucking fun. It was like 2 weeks long. You would go play on the lake, go, quote, banana boating, get rashes on the inside of your thighs. You would go, just like be a kid. There was always some real angsty teen love going on, preteen love too. One cute boy that everyone was into. It was just objectively a very fun time. Was I constipated every year? Absolutely. Without a doubt. They would give me this special trail mix that I think was so obscenely high in fiber that really just snaked my drains. That shit was crazy, literally. And then there was always this very emotional last night ceremony where everyone would hike up this mountain, if you will, in a straight line. We were all holding a candle, singing some song about God, who knows. And then one by one, we would put the candle in the tinfoil cross on the ground. And I really ate that up. To be honest, I think just the pure serotonin that was pumping through our veins, just being kids in the summer, you could have told me to, I don't know, eat worms. And I'd be like, yes, ma'am. Oh, God. But I remember honestly, I was getting a little sus about religion. I was like, some things, I'm not feeling so good about this in my gut. And I remember we went to this like ceremony, like there was some part of camp where you would break out into different sessions and you could choose whatever session you wanted. They could be about, I don't know, fucking Noah's Ark or whatever. And I remember one of the sessions was evolution and God. Mind you, I'm 12 at this point. And I was like, okay, how cool. You know, they can talk about how they can coexist, whatever. These bleach blonde, you know, don't even know if they were legal to drink, were telling us, you know, evolution is fake. Evolution is not real. And I think I just kind of had a light bulb moment where I was like, I don't think this is for me. I don't think this is my cup of tea. You know, I got baptized at 8, which is late for some. You know, I feel like if you're kind of in that world, you get baptized as a baby. But, you know, my dad wanted it to be my decision, which is anything your decision when you're 8? You know, do you have free will when you're 8? I don't know, maybe. I got baptized in a blow-up pool in a church. That shit was so murky. Oh, so much skin. And like Lane Bryant, you know, blouse water. Oh, and then I remember walking into the women's restroom and everyone was clapping for me. And that shit feels good when you're 8. Are you kidding me? It's like you're doing the right thing. Again, I don't think religion is bad. I think people do bad things in the name of religion. But turn up for Jesus, really, at the end of the day. I've also been getting very nostalgic about my childhood. And you know how we all have those stories, memories, what have you, where when you think about them, they send such a chill down your spine. You literally can feel all of the muscles contract in your stomach because it's so cringy. Like you never really age out of the cringe for how much it just stuck with you. So I thought, let's tell those stories. Let's really put my ass on blast. And just, let's get cringy. So, the first one, to be honest, if this happened as an adult, I don't think it would hit as hard. But something about being 11 or 12 years old at a pool party. Ladies, I can feel your butts puckering. I feel like just mentioning a pool party as a child. Also, I want to be very clear. I am Greek and I am Polish. I started shaving my armpits in the 3rd grade. Now, my mom wouldn't let me use a razor, so she would let me use an Easy Touch. If you are not familiar with an Easy Touch, it is a tiny electric shaver meant for like mustaches. And I will never forget, before this pool party, my absolute ride or die sister goes, come here. She took me in the bathroom. She put a little Suave shaving cream on my armpits, and she did the Lord's work. She got in there. There was no stubble. Oh my God. Erica, you're a real one for that. I also feel like I was probably having pubes at that point. I don't really remember my pube story, which is shocking. So the pits are fresh. I probably got a cute little tankini on, and we're on the way to the pool. Hormones are raging, okay? Wet pizza, pruny fingers, someone's pissing in the pool. It's probably me. And I will never forget, I go down, I probably did like a handstand or the George Washington, whatever. Killed every time. And when I came up for air, there was probably like 10 people around us. And I remember everyone kind of like looked at me a little bit, but like wasn't really saying anything. And then this one boy in my class, what a soldier. He looked at me and said, you got a booger. I had the biggest booger on my upper lip. And I thought, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to fucking put a knapsack around my shoulder. I'm going to hit the town. I'm going to start a new life. And like, you can't really come back from that. I feel like I probably just got out of the pool and either overcompensated and was like doing a bit or just eating Fig Newtons wrapped in a burrito towel. I don't know. But I still think about that. Because it wasn't like he was trying to be mean about it either. He was like genuinely embarrassed for me. There's another one that I have so much guilt to this day. And, you know, I'm therapized. I've been in therapy for years. I don't know why I did this. The year was 2008. We were going on a field trip, a little overnight field trip. You know how horny those are. Somewhere in the woods. And I had a guy friend who, humble brag, had a crush on me all of K through 8. And I think I would kind of fuck with him. Again, just, I wasn't like mean, but that was probably mean. We were outside just goofing around. And oh my God, this makes me just want to die inside. I was standing across from him and I had my hands on his shoulders. We were face to face. And I said, okay, close your eyes. You guys. This is so bad. This poor boy. So I say, close your eyes. All of a sudden, I knee him in the balls. Like I not kicked, kneed this poor gentleman in between his legs, so far up his crotch. Why? Oh my God, he was crying. He had to ice his nuts. To be clear, I wasn't a bully. Like I wasn't a mean-spirited kid. I just thought it was funny. And I feel like that's the time where it's like, oh, my nuts, or like, oh, my nads. It haunts me to this day. It really. Wilson, if you're listening to this, I am so sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry. You did not deserve that. You were really just minding your business among the pines, and I just ruined your day. I ruined your trip, probably. I hope I didn't, reduce your sperm count. Please send me the bill, if so. Another story that comes to mind was much more recent. It was, let's see, a year and some change ago. I think about this one quarterly. So this is late 2022, and I was in the process of, leaving my job. My job didn't know, but I was looking elsewhere. I was doing the interviews. I was razzle-dazzling. And, I worked in celebrity homes. So I was interviewing to be a house manager of this A-list celebrity. I'm going to try to respect an NDA, but I would love to tell you who it was for. I make it through the first 2 rounds with his assistant. And it's now time for me to meet him. For some context, I think I was going through it around this time. I remember my mental health wasn't great. My physical health wasn't great. I just was not in tip-top shape. Now, I am not the smartest. I couldn't tell you, I don't know about the Higgs boson theory. I couldn't tell you what marketing, I don't know. But what I do know is I can interview. I can interview and make you feel like the most special person in the room. And something about this day, I felt off. Off, 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 off. I remember waking up and being like, this isn't good. Uh-oh. So I'm driving to the interview and, you know, I'm really starting to pep talk. I'm like, all right, Emmers, here we go. I take half of a 0.25 Xanax. Now, for those of you who don't, you know about the benzodiazepines, let me fill you in. 1 milligram is kind of like an average dose. 2 milligrams is kind of high. 0.5 is low. 0.25 is pediatric. Okay, I took half of a 0.25. Honey, take 3. Like, I don't know what the fuck I thought that was going to do. Spoiler alert, nothing. So, you know, I pull up, I call my sister and I say, I don't know if I can do this. I just was not feeling right. I was feeling a little anxious. I felt very out of my body. And I think knowing that it was with the person, I was just like, oh, fuck me. Whatever. I was like, let's do it. I walk into the house. He's outside, you know, on a call. So I sit outside. Mind you, it's probably like a beautiful 72-degree day. And we start talking, the nicest person. All of a sudden, I feel like a furnace. I was probably the color of this wall. So hot that I have to interrupt him and try to play it off like I'm having a hot flash. Okay, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I think I'm having a hot flash. He goes, oh, that's okay. I have anxiety too. Like, let's go inside. Already? I'm ready to fucking leave. Yikes. Also, I'm interviewing to be this man's house manager. I'm supposed to make him feel like I can take care of him. Demerit number 1. So we go inside. He had like little tiny refrigerated Fijis on the table. I now am holding the Fiji water bottle up to my neck. It's not a cute look. At this point, he can see that I am sweating. Full-blown, drenched in sweat, beet red. He goes, can I get you like maybe like a wet rag or some cold watermelon I have in the fridge? This man pulls out a Tupperware of cut watermelon for me in his home. Truly the nicest man. I could not have had this experience with a better person, but kill me. Put me in the guillotine, drop the slicer, have it just slightly hit my neck, really, really put me through it, and then chop me off. Oh my God. I could have been talking about a blueberry muffin recipe. I don't know what the fuck I was saying to him. At that point, he said, you know, do you have any questions for me? I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm great. He was like, you know, you can jump in the ocean if you want. Oh. So bad. So bad. I told my friend this story and she said the best thing. She was like, what you should have done was on your way out, turn to him and said, and scene. And that's what we don't do in an interview. Hi, I'm Emily Petros. Nice to meet you, or whatever. So smart. But I think by the time that I was halfway out that door, I said, I think I have to change careers. I think I'm done here. Needless to say, I did not get that job, but I do hope I run into him one day. I will say it was pretty soon after that I went on Lexapro, and let me tell you something. That shit it's exquisite. You know, I tend to lean a little bit more Eastern when it comes to my healing. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not here, you know, chugging celery juice and putting a crystal up my ass if I have, you know, strep. But I do think there are definitely some interventions you can try before taking the Western route. Now, Lexapro, that shit transcends time. It transcends east, west. It is so utterly beautiful. Now that I'm on Lexapro, I do the cutest shit. I do the cutest shit alone. I wink at angel numbers now. Who am I winking to? If I see them on the oven, 1111 or whatever, I give it a little wink every time. Every time. I Postmated a sandwich the other day. I'm eating it alone in my home, in the privacy of my own home. Under my breath, after I took a bite, I said, delightful. Huh? No one was around. It really makes you wonder, wow, does everyone else feel like this? Just the utter peace. Oh my God. Now I am going to try to go off of it later this year. I'm not going to lie. I do kind of want to play around with plant medicine. Uh-oh. Never done a drug in my life, so not sure how I think that one's going to go, but you can't do them when you're on SSRIs. I swear, watch me come back from doing, I don't know, ketamine or something, and I'll be, full dreads, a flowy caftan. My nickname is like Mother Stone. Honestly, though, pop off. The one thing that Lexapro will not fix is the feelings I have towards my back fat. That is above its pay grade. I'm all about body positivity, and I really do think for the most part, I'm kind of just like, take it or leave it. But there's something about the back flaps that really kick a woman while she's down. It just feels so disproportionate to the rest of the weight on my body. It kind of makes me feel like I'm a kitten whose mom is going to like grab me by the back fat and like take me into the den so I can, suckle on the teat. And like, I know you can do, what's it called? Not cryotherapy. God, what is it called? It's cool sculpting. First of all, so expensive. So expensive. And I also have someone in my life who did cool sculpting and then got some work done, and they pulled some of the fat or like whatever tissue, I don't even know, in the area where the cool sculpting was done and put it into their face. Had a lot of complications after that. We can't win. You know what, though? The one procedure, I don't even know if you can even call it a procedure, that just really locked me in was laser hair removal. Oh my God. If you are one of those that just has like a light brown bush, like thin little light brown hair, angel hair, I am so happy for you. What a just joyous life you get to live. No razor burn, just like a little tuft of hair. What a delight. But my pubes were biblical. They went so far past the quote bikini line and so far into my labia. It was kind of like a practical joke. I don't know what God was thinking when he made me. He was like, here we go. Scoliosis for the gods. Lots of body hair. The feet are going to look a little crazy. Let's make the big toe look like a spaceship and then the rest of them look like E.T. But let's give her a great personality. I mean, what a treat. Listen, it's all relative. I'm grateful to have all four limbs, but come on with the back fat. And there's obviously no exercises you can do to get rid of it. They're like diet. Hey, go pound sand. Change your diet. No. Mm-mm. I already don't eat gluten, and that should be enough. That should be enough. I've paid my dues. You know, on a real note, I feel like one of the biggest gifts that antidepressants gave me. Also, I really want to start the narrative that the antidepressants didn't give me shit. It really pushed my butt so I could continue climbing. You know, like, I think if we put so much weight on them, getting off them can be that much more treacherous. Also, you don't have to get off them. That's your journey. But I had so much guilt about really just like, I mean, if we're getting down to quote brass tacks, I had so much guilt just about being myself. You know, I feel like growing up, I was always the performative one. I was always taking my top off at the bar, doing some ridiculous shit. And while, yes, that is very much a part of myself, I feel like, you know, as I've grown and evolved, as I'm sure many of us do, it's just not cute anymore. You realize that, or at least I realized, who am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? And a byproduct of that is, sure, you lose some people in your life because you're not putting a titty in the bartender's face, but there's kind of this learning curve that happens where you learn that it's okay to not do the things you don't want to do. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but for all my people pleasers out there, it's a very treacherous thing to do, or at least it feels like it is. So for so long, the guilt that I would feel for either wanting to leave something early or not wanting to go in the first place, it really weighed heavy on me. And I'll be honest, there have been times where friends, acquaintances, whatever, gave me shit for that. So of course it would reinforce this idea that, oh, I'm not allowed to do those things. And let me just scream this from the mountaintops. We are floating on a rock. Leaving something an hour early doesn't fucking matter. And if someone is upset with that, that is wholeheartedly their issue, not yours. Now, if you're leaving your sister's wedding during the vows, maybe we, reassess. Maybe we take some accountability on that one. But, oh, get ready for what I'm about to say, but life is too short to do the shit you don't want to do. Especially if it's for someone else. Again, there is gray area there. We obviously show up for the people we love, even if we don't want to do the things. But if there is no consequence for you wanting to be authentically yourself, do it. And I think a lot of people, if they have a hard time letting you do that, I'm going to put let in big air quotes. A lot of the times, it may come from good intentions, but their experience is not yours. And you have full agency over your life. I also think if someone hasn't gone through what you've gone through, however big or small that is, a lot of the time there will be some dissonance between your life experiences. So they may think what you're doing is wrong or weird or whatever. And listen, if that means you need to go join a cult for a year, pop off. Go put on your linen muumuu and go eat some nigiri and just say hallelujah. Now, I hope you have friends and family who can eventually bring you back, but I think it's so easy now to feel like, what should I be doing? What are the things that will either make me look like I'm doing the right thing or that people tell me is the right thing to do? I think this also ties into the idea that it's okay to also fuck around and find out. You have every right to live a very safe, sheltered life. That is your prerogative. But if you want to just get in the muck and get silly and get weird and get sad and heartbroken, I hope you make those mistakes. And I'm saying mistakes with the most love in my heart. I mean, I am so grateful for my mistakes. They made me grow. They made me break down. It's just like, it's so easy to feel like, oh, okay, I'm doing the right thing. Like this is the right decision to make. I do that a lot in relationships too. I tend to be a very pragmatic lover. So, I'll be very logical when it comes to ending something. Or if I start to feel something is off, I'll end it. And I have had to learn to maybe sit in the gray area a little bit more. And maybe if you end and you're like, I want to see you again, I'm going to see you again. Now, maybe your homework is, if you are the type to always be a little toxic in your relationships, maybe some discipline might help. But that is your journey. Why the fuck am I talking about this? Oh, Lexapro. Point being, Lexapro just created more space in my mind to just exist the way I want to. Again, be kind, be gracious, don't be a dick, come from a place of love. But you are allowed to do and not do things that do not feel right to you. Why am I going off of it? Damn. Anyway. That is enough from me today. That took a turn. That took a silly little turn. In any case, I'm so appreciative to all of you who tune in. I know we're going to be doing every other week now. Thank you. I love you. And go make some mistakes.